Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 gameplay video. In this video, I want to talk about ways that you can improve your gun skill. Now, quick play is really fun, sure, but one of the issues with quick play is that for about a third of the match, it's really gunplay focused, and then after that, it's basically super and heavy focused, and it's about super training, controlling heavy spawns, and there's some gunplay in there as well. But it's really not the ideal environment to really focus on your gun skill in particular and try and maximize potential gains in that department. So one of the things I would suggest that you do is when Doubles playlist is active, like it is this week, get your butt in there because it is so worth it. It is such a good environment for just honing in on your gun skill and seeing some big changes over time, some dramatic changes in your ability to win one-on-one gunfights, 1v2 gunfights, and it is a bit of a sweaty environment at times. I firmly believe that there's some level of skill-based because I've had like a couple of blowouts, but for the most part, I'm matching people that are, like legend ranked players, mythic ranked players in comp, and I'm running into a lot of people that I know. So let me make a bit of a disclaimer here too. You're going to see a lot of plays in this video that are, good 1v2s and some kill streaks in the Doubles playlist. But let it be known that you're going to see players in here like Elusive Myth. And in my opinion, he is one of the absolute best players in the game. He is way better than I am at this game, okay? So don't let the gameplay fool you. For every one time I killed him, he killed me twice. And so if you want to see a really competitive player, someone who has, in my opinion, one of the best primary shots in the game right now, you should check him out. Elusove on Twitch, so E-L-U-S-O-V-E on Twitch. Check him out. He's better than I am. And in this gameplay, you're going to see some great plays that I had, but I lost some matches as well. I won some matches, lost some matches. It was a really sweaty environment, and I loved every bit of it. I tried to stay in these lobbies as long as I could and really maximize my time in this environment. So I would recommend to you as well, if you get into a challenging lobby, stay. This is the ideal environment for growing your personal skill, especially as it pertains to gun skill, because you're going to get into so many primary gunfights. I am a little disappointed that there is power ammo. Most of the people that I played against just sort of operated under a gentleman's agreement that we just didn't touch this stuff. Every now and then I got into a lobby where people were using heavy, and there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. It's not against the rules. But anytime that I could, I would just grab the power ammo and just shoot my rockets into the sky and keep going, because I really love the primary and special gunplay that you get in the Doubles playlist. So stay in challenging lobbies, stay in tough lobbies. This is the correct environment, because you're not going to get better if you're playing against ability spam, or if you're playing against people that are way out of your league, whether it's you blowing them out. Like I was in a lobby today where I had a 32 kill, I had a perfect 32-0 game in Doubles, and I should not have been in that lobby. I did not belong in that lobby. But I've also been in lobbies before where I'm getting stomped and I don't actually learn anything, and you don't want to stay in that environment either. But good competitive lobbies, often the ones that are somewhat nerve-wracking, right? Those are the lobbies you should be in, because those are the ones that are going to sharpen your skills. So stay in those lobbies. I would recommend, I hope I don't ruffle any feathers saying this, I am a huge fusion rifle fan. I love using fusion rifles, but if your goal is to improve your gun skill and you're in the Doubles playlist, I would recommend that you don't use them, because fusion rifles, in my opinion, as someone who uses a ton of fusion rifles, I've got way more fusion rifle kills than I do shoddy kills. The thing about fusion rifles is that they require skill, but it's not necessarily all gun skill. With fusion rifles, the kind of skill that it really focuses on is positioning and prediction, right? It's all about positioning yourself correctly and predicting the movements of your opponent. It doesn't really focus too much on weapon accuracy, your response time. It doesn't really focus too much on target acquisition. So I wouldn't recommend that if your goal is to improve your gun skill, I wouldn't recommend that you use a fusion rifle in the Doubles playlist. If you like using fusions and you just want to go into the Doubles playlist and win, that's fine. I'm talking about something different. I'm talking about trying to get into an environment where your gun skill is going to improve. I would say avoid fusion rifles. One of the things you're going to want to do is focus on pinches. You're going to see a lot of moments in this gameplay where I get a pick or my teammate gets a pick, and we collapse on the last guy, but it's not like two of us running down the same lane together. Against really, really good players, oftentimes they can punish you pretty heavily for pushing them aggressively if you're just running side by side with your teammate. You know, they can tag you with a grenade where it's going to get both of you, and they just go pop with their primary weapon and clean you both up. So you don't want to get into that sort of a scenario. So you'll see me a lot of times take a different route than my teammate and try and pinch the opponent with them to make sure that if one of us dies, that's the most, right? It's not going to be the guy getting 2 kills. And focusing on doing pinches with your teammate is a good way to sort of minimize your losses, but also maximize your chances of coming out on top in your primary gunfights. I would say that the doubles playlist is way better than the comp playlist for improving your gun skill for a couple of reasons. One, there's more pressure on you individually. You know, you can get carried in comp. I mean, you can drop a goose egg in comp. It's a 4v4 environment, so I mean, I obviously wouldn't recommend you drop a goose egg, but your team can still win if you don't play well. It's a lot easier to get carried in that sort of an environment. In 2v2, I think there's more pressure on you individually, so you feel that pressure to perform and you really start to focus up and try and land your shots. I would say that it's better than the comp playlist as well, because when you're outmatched, or if you get a teammate that's bad, you know, in comp, if your teammates are bad, you're done. There's just only so much you can do as a solo player against a team of 4, you know, that's mopping the floor with your teammates. There's so much you can do. You can't outplay 4 people. But in the doubles playlist, if you get a mismatch and your teammate's bad, your chances of carrying are a lot better because it's not an unwinnable situation. At worst, you're in 1v2s, not 1v4s, right? And as difficult as a 1v2 is, it's not as difficult as a 1v4. It is winnable. There's potential there for you to make a play. Lastly, I would say that I just really like the pace of the doubles playlist, especially with the showdown setup. It's round based. You know, if you have a bad round, cool. They get a point for it, but you can come back from that. You can have a terrible round where they steamroll with supers and heavy and whatnot, and they could win that round 10-0. But you could come back in the next round and win it 4-2, right? You could actually potentially win a showdown match of doubles with fewer kills than the other team, because you focused up in the right rounds and you held them when you needed to, right? And so I really like that setup, quite honestly. You can have a good round. I've had massive rounds, then I've had rounds where I drop 0 kills, you know? And it's sort of a shock, you know, because it's sort of like these checkpoints within the match where you can reevaluate, what did I do wrong? What did I do well there? And you can make decisions based on that. But anyways, I would recommend, absolutely, guys, if your goal right now is to really increase your primary gun skill, take advantage of the doubles playlist. This is a great environment for you to really get into a scenario where there's more pressure on you. You can focus up, evaluate your own gameplay, and it's much easier to do that because it's not all the chaos that you get in quick play. You can think about what you're doing right, what you need to do better, and leveraging the right things at the right times. So anyways, just a little bit of advice. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and the gameplay. Hope to catch y'all in the Crucible. Bye-bye.